Okay, hi, this is Keith again. Sorry, I had to pause the video there for a while because I had a phone call coming in. So, lastly, we were just reading about, the meanings of the names of the 10 first patriarchs of humanity from the line of Seth, Adam, down to Noah, okay? Now, let's go back to the main story and talk about the book of Enoch, okay? So, we have the main story. So, in the immediate context of Genesis 6, Jared's name means to come down. Okay, why was he named to come down? Isn't that just a weird name? To name a child. Came down what? What came down and who came down? So Genesis 6:4 has given us a hint. Okay, it means that the sons of God, the Benihar Elohim, actually descended down from heaven to procreate with the daughters of men, and then to that resulted in the existence of these giants. So Genesis 6:4 actually has given us a hint, but the first book of Enoch, okay, Enoch 1 painted us the whole picture. So let's read first Enoch chapter 6. And it came to pass when the sons of men had increased that in those days there were born to them fair and beautiful daughters. This actually seems to be like it's like we're reading from the book of Genesis itself. Genesis 6, I think 1 and 2 actually says the same thing. So Verse Enoch 6, and it came to pass, sons of men had increased, and in those days were born to them fair and beautiful daughters. And the angels, the sons of heaven, saw them and desired them, and they said to one another, Come, let us choose for ourselves wives from the children of men, and let us beget for ourselves children. And Samiazar, who was the leader, said to them, I fear that you may not wish this deed to be done, and that I alone will pay for this great sin. And they all answered him and said, Let us all swear an oath and bind one another with curses so as not to alter this plan, but to carry out this plan effectively. So they all swore together and all bound one another with curses to it, and they were all in all 200, and they came down on Ardis, which is the summit of Mount Hermon, which still, by the way, exists today in the land of, I think it's in Lebanon. And they called the mountain Hermon because on it they swore and bound one another with curses. Now, I'm not sure whether the meaning of Hermon actually means that, but let's just go with it for now. And these are the names of the leaders the leaders of these fallen angels. Samiazah was the leader, Urakiba, Ramiel, Kokabel, Tamiel, Remiel, Daniel, Ezekiel, Barakel, Asael, Amaros, Ananel, Zakel, Semthiel, Satael, Turiel, Yomiel, and Arazel. These are the leaders of the 200 angels and of all the others with them. Okay, so I might have mispronounced some of these names there, but just to give you a picture of what was going on, okay, in Genesis 6:4. Okay, so we have seen the Nephilim were a hybrid race of beings, angels and humans that were never meant to exist in the first place by God. Okay, they were not created according to any kind, and we now am beginning to see a picture emerging as to why these beings had to die. Okay, so let me just go to the next part here. So okay, let me just find what I've written here. Okay, the reason why we also subscribe to the validity of the book of Enoch is because if you read what was written in the New Testament, you read the book of Jude, okay, they actually make a reference to the book of Enoch. Now, if you don't believe me, just turn to the book of Jude. I think Jude is just before the book of Revelation. Jude 6. Jude has only one chapter and verse 6. And the angels who did not keep their positions of authority but abandoned their proper dwelling, these he has kept in darkness, bound with everlasting chains for judgment on the great day. Okay, now there's nowhere else in the Bible that tells us about um, these angels that were being bound in chains, except for what is written here in Jude and also in 2 Peter, and I'll read later on. Okay, now Jude also in verses 14 and 15, Enoch, the seventh from Adam, prophesied about them. See, The Lord is coming with thousands upon thousands of his holy ones to judge everyone and to convict all of them of all the ungodly acts they have committed in their ungodliness, and of all the defiant words ungodly sinners have spoken against him. And this is actually a reference of 1 Enoch chapter 2, verse 1. 2 Peter 2:4. For God did not spare the angels when they sinned, but sent them to Tartarus, putting them in chains of darkness in gloomy dungeons to be held for judgment. Okay, so uh, this is talking about the the fallen angels who came down and cohabited with human women, and they were being put in chains of darkness. They were being bound up. Okay, so did Enoch say this? Yes. First Enoch chapter 10 verse 6 we actually read. So the Lord said to Raphael, bind Azazel hand and foot, cast him into darkness, and opening the desert which is in Dudael, and cast him in there. Throw upon him hurled and pointed stones, covering him with darkness. There shall he remain forever. Cover his face that he may not see the light. And in the great day of judgment, let him be cast into the fire. So Azazel is being bound hand and foot and being put into the darkness. Okay. Now, the book of Enoch, if you read it, it also dispels the Jehovah's Witness idea that Michael the Archangel and Jesus Christ were identical to each other, okay? Because if I just find that if when I say this, I just find if the book of Enoch had remained in the Bible, because it was in the Bible and then it was taken out, okay? Some people say that the Roman Catholic Church actually took it out. I'm not too sure about who took it out or why, but I just know that it was in the Bible before this, and I know that the apostles, when they were writing the Bible, people like Paul and Peter and Jude, they I believe that they subscribe to the validity and the credibility of the book of Enoch. Now, the Bible, as we have it today, uh, um, did not exist in this form when the apostles were writing the Bible. Okay, so therefore, I do believe that they do refer to the book of Enoch. They believe it to be credible, and if it had just remained as part of Scripture, I find that we can settle so many misunderstandings um, about who God is and why He did certain things today. Okay, but this is, for example, like I mentioned just now, the Jehovah's Witness, they believe that Michael the Archangel is identical with Jesus Christ. They think that Michael the Archangel is just the pre-incarnate, pre-human Jesus Christ. Okay, but it's just we know that that's not true. So let's just read from the book of Revelation to find out who this King of Kings and Lord of Lords is, right? These shall make war with the Lamb. The Revelation chapter 17, verse 14. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of Lords, King of Kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. So the Lamb, Jesus Christ, the sacrificial Lamb, he is the Lord of Lords and the King of Kings. Okay? Revelation chapter 19, verse 16. On his robe and on his thigh, he has this name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. This no doubt refers to Jesus Christ. Okay? So the interesting thing is that the book of Enoch may be, most likely the first book to refer to Jesus with these titles, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, okay? First Enoch chapter 9, verse 3. Now, this is Enoch. If you read Enoch, first Enoch from chapter 6 to chapter 9, you will know that, the giants, Nephilim, had wreaked havoc upon the earth. And this group of archangels in heaven, led by Michael himself, is now actually addressing the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, Jesus Christ himself. Okay. First Enoch chapter 9 verse 3. And now to you, O Holy One of Heaven. Okay, this is Michael complaining to Jesus. Okay, he's begging Jesus. Okay, and now to you, O Holy One of Heaven. The souls of men complain, saying, obtain justice for us with the Most High. Then they said to the Lord the King, you are Lord of Lords, God of gods, King of kings. This is no doubt who this individual is. It is Jesus Christ. The throne of your glory is forever and forever and ever is your name sanctified and glorified. You are blessed and glorified. Okay? So, as I mentioned just now, the background of this verse is that the Archangel Michael, together with the other archangels, Gabriel, Raphael, Suriel, and Uriel, were making a plea to Jesus for him to bring forth punishment in light of the suffering brought to mankind by the fallen angels. Okay? And, I'm going to end this video here soon, because we can talk the whole day about the book of Enoch, but I'm just going to make this short. It's really two parts. Okay, this is about the title, the Son of Man. Okay, any avid reader of the New Testament could easily conclude that this seems to be Jesus' favorite title for himself. Okay, in fact, the apologist Nabil Qureshi um, actually went so far as to conclude that the Son of Man tells us more about the divine nature of Jesus more than the title the Son of God, because Christians were also called the sons of God. So Qureshi states that in Mark 14:62, it's one of the two places where Jesus refers to himself as deity in reply to the challenge often issued by Unitarians, where did Jesus say, I'm God? Okay, so Jesus was asked by the Sanhedrin, are you the Messiah, the Son of the Blessed One? And he replied at Mark 14:62, I am, said Jesus, and you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds of heaven. Now, if you had studied the Bible more, you would actually realize where Jesus was coming from. He was actually quoting from Daniel chapter 7, verses 13 and 14, and Psalm 110, verse 1. Okay? But if we go to the 46 and 48 chapters of the book of First Enoch, we can see the uncanny similarity between what was revealed to Daniel and what was revealed to Enoch. And Enoch also referred to Jesus as the Son of Man. Okay, so in conclusion, I personally feel that the book of Enoch is at least credible and reliable, if not more, and I don't think Christians should just discard it because it is not in the Bible, because I found nothing in the book of Enoch that is contrary to what is written in the Bible, is contrary to Scripture. In fact, I'm of the opinion that the book of Enoch actually reinforces Scripture, okay? There was also a warning in the very second verse of the whole book itself. From them I heard all things, meaning from the archangels, and understood what I saw. This is Enoch speaking. From them I heard all things and understood what I saw, that which will not take place in this generation, but in a generation which is to succeed at a distant period on account of the elect. Okay, and I believe that the distant period is our period right now. Okay, so I'm going to talk more about this subject, but I'm just going to end this video here for now. God bless.